It's been almost 3 years since the Senate passed comprehensive immigration reform. It was done on a bipartisan basis. Senate Democrats worked with a handful of Republicans to craft a good, fair, comprehensive immigration reform bill that passed, as I've indicated, with strong bipartisan support. But then we watched Speaker Boehner capitulate to the Tea Party radicals and refuse to even allow a vote on the floor. Had he allowed a vote on the floor, it would have passed overwhelmingly. To his credit, President Obama saw Republicans' inertia on immigration reform and decided to act. And he told us at the State of the Union address that he was tired of waiting around for Republicans to do things. He was going to have to do things himself, and that's what he's done. Using his executive authority under existing law, he worked to fix the system and prioritize enforcement resources on those who actually pose a threat to our national security and public safety. On November 20th, 2014, President Obama ordered a series of executive actions that increased border security and ensured greater accountability throughout our immigration system. One aspect of President Obama's executive actions was the Deferred Action for Parents of Americans and Unlawful Permanent Residents program. The program provided temporary deportation relief for parents of U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents to meet three basic requirements. Number one, they must been in the country at least 5 years. 2, they must register with the government. And 3, they must pass a criminal background check. Today, there are about 5 million children, all U.S. citizens, of parent eligible for this program. President Obama also expanded the Deferred Action for Children Arrival program, helping to protect dreamers and undocumented children who were brought to the United States at a very young age. To date, over 700,000 dreamers have been protected, 12,000 in Nevada alone. Not only were these executive actions the right thing to do, they're also smart investments. Nevada would benefit from about $3.5 million a year increase in state and local tax revenue. And Nevadans would see an increase in earnings for more than $1 billion over 10 years. Together, these programs will help grow America by $230 billion over the next 10 years. But now, this progress is being threatened. Shortly after President Obama's announcement, a politically motivated lawsuit was filed by the Texas Attorney General and joined by Republican governors and attorneys. Not all of them, but a lot of them. The Texas Attorney General wanted a preliminary injunction temporarily blocking both programs. This injunction came from a single judge. The United States Supreme Court agreed to consider the case, and today it heard oral arguments. They were good. They were good. I thought it was an extremely sound, deliberate argument. I think that justices, most of them asked questions that went to the heart of what the issues are, standing and other things. A decision to overturn the president's action would put many families with U.S. citizen children at risk of deportation and prevent the Department of Homeland Security from doing its job of focusing on criminals and other threats to national security and public safety. In Nevada alone, President Obama's executive actions stand to help 50,000 people, 50,000 Nevadans who should not be separated from their families. The United States Supreme Court must do the right thing and recognize President Obama's authority. That's why he joined 38 other Senate Democrats and 186 House Democrats in filing an amicus brief with the Supreme Court, making clear that Congress granted the Department of Homeland Security broad discretion in enforcing our country's immigration laws. What the president did was both lawful and it was necessary. He helped target limited enforcement resources. It's also what every other president since Eisenhower has done, including Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush. Instead of litigating the president's executive action, Republicans should work to fix our immigration system here in Congress. By working with Democrats to pass immigration reform, they would render the president's executive actions unnecessary. So I hope the Supreme Court ultimately decides in the administration's favor. I think they will, even though the court is short a member. I hope that these executive orders are implemented to bring hardworking families out of the shadows. But our nation would be far better off with a permanent solution. Our nation would be far better off with a bipartisan, comprehensive overhaul of our nation's immigration laws.